Shalom, shalom to the house of Israel. Thank you for joining Israelite Nation Assembly on this cold, beautiful Shabbat day. Rainy, wet Shabbat day in Detroit, Michigan. Thank you for joining us wherever you might be. In your car, hopefully you're not driving, or you might be listening and driving. That's cool. Or at grandma's house, holding clothes, or whatever you're doing. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And this lesson is for you. If you're watching, this lesson is for you. All right. First and foremost, we want to give honor and praise to the Most High Yah and the Messiah, the Mashiach, Yahushua. All glory and honor to the Most High Yah, who's the Savior of Israel. All right. Today's lesson, Mark of the Beast / Time for Redemption. Now, we did a lesson called 666 Man of Sin, where we alluded to the Mark of the Beast, but we didn't go into it or go over it. We just saved that for a separate lesson. But if you haven't seen 666 Man of Sin, I suggest you go on our YouTube channel, Israelite Nation Assembly, INAS, YouTube.com, and you can check that video out. All right? So the world has been a strange place. I hear. Yeah, it's on there. Oh, we sent it? Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. Sorry about that, folks. The world is in a strange condition here lately. Well, all this going on, we talked about it last week. It's no more time for half measures. The stuff is over now. You got to get this thing together and get to checking yourself to make sure it's tight, or you're gonna lose, or you can't lose. You ain't got the thing together. All right. The world is in a very strange place. So right quick, that's what I want to do. I didn't have this in my notes, but we went over our Torah reading, and I just wanted to get this one in too. Luke, let's go to Luke 21, and Luke chapter 21, and read on down verses 24 through 28, I believe. Hold on, let me get to it, because maybe I'm calling the scripture wrong. No, I'm right. 24 to 28.
All right. Luke chapter 21, verses 24 through 28 reads, "And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive unto all nations."
We did fall by the edge of the sword. We were led into captivity by all nations. Read.
"And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles."
And it has been trodden down by the Gentiles. Read.
"Until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled."
Until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. And the times of the Gentile have not been fulfilled as of yet. That's where all of these strange things are going on in the world. The time of the Gentiles are getting ready to come to an end. They hadn't come to the end yet. Come on.
"And there shall be signs in the sun."
There are signs in the sun.
"And in the moon."
There are signs in the moon. Come on.
"And in the star."
And in the stars. Read.
"And upon the earth distress of nations."
Read that part again.
"And upon the earth distress of nations."
So we have hurricanes and tornadoes and what else you call that? When the water, the typhoons and earthquakes and floodings and hailstorms and all this stuff is going on. The earth seems to be in a flux. Something is going on here. And now we have, read that last part again.
"And upon on the earth, distress of nations."
We have distress of nations. Everybody is saying, it seemed to be thinking the drums of war is beating. Something is going on. China, Russia, in Iran is doing military drills. Kim Jong-il over there in North Korea, he always got something to say. He just as crazy as hell. He's out of his mind. And you know the president of the United States here in America is out of his mind. It's like a little kid in office. He's a child. It's unbelievable the things that's happening. What verse we on?
It's still on 25 at the end.
Okay, read on.
With perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. Keep on.
Keep reading.
Men's hearts failing them for fear.
And men's hearts are failing them because of the fear of what they see, the things that's coming upon them. Read.
And for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken.
Verse 27, read.
And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory.
After all these things, then we're going to see him coming with power and great glory, but not yet. Read.
And when these things begin to come to pass.
When they start to come to pass, like they are coming to pass, and we are seeing them come to pass. Read on.
Then look up and lift up your heads.
Come on.
For your redemption draweth nigh.
Your redemption is very, very near. So you have to have the ability to go into this Bible, see things in this Bible, see the prophecies in this Bible, and see where we at in this dispensation of time. Right. This is where we at. So we're close. We at that fifth seal is gone. We're living in that fifth seal. We're getting ready for the sixth seal. That is all out destruction upon the earth. And the very elect is going to have to be saved. They have to be delivered out of that. So, we have to, at some point, grow up in this truth. You got men and women that's been in this truth 10, 20, 30, 40 years and still can't break down simple prophecy. What have you been doing every Shabbat? Don't you know that cartoon where they had a little thing be going around? You know, the cartoons they used to have.
Oh, when they busy?
Yeah, they had a little thing going around their head. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, sure.
Like, you like, what is going on here? You've been sitting in here the whole time and you still don't know what's happening, what time of day it is. At some point, we as a people, we have to grow up in this truth. And we have to, at some point, mature in this truth. We can no longer afford to stay in the same stagnant position. You can't stay in that state. That's right. The trials that we go through and the things that we are going through, they are there to build character. They are there to build character, and they are there to build strength. The trying of our faith are the keys to the kingdom. As a matter of fact, the Bible tells us to count these trials joy. So when you going through something and you having a hard time, that ain't the time to faint. That's the time to say, oh, that's what I needed because I needed to get that up out of me. Cool. Glad you showed it to me, Father. Check. Now I know what to do. I know when I see that particular woman coming, run. I know when I see him and he sticks his chest out and I knock all them muscles, I know to run. Yeah. You know, when you fail and you falter, you won't know unless you fail at it. I failed at this. I failed the test. Now I know. Oh, that was there. I didn't know that was there. I didn't know I would have an outburst like that. I didn't know I would speak like that. I didn't know I would act like that. But I failed the test or I failed the trial. Now I know I got to clean that up.
Right.
I got to tighten that up. I got to get that together. Now I know better. Now the next time it comes, I'm winning. Everything that we have lost collectively and individually, we can gain again. They must be obtained through redemptive practices. Let me say it again. Everything we have lost collectively and individually must be regained. And they can be regained and or obtained through redemptive practices. You must redeem what you lost through perpetual redemption. Give me Ephesians 5 and 16. Ephesians 5, start at verse 16. Y'all work with me, okay? All right.
Ephesians 5 and 16.
16 through 18.
Ephesians 5 verses 16 through 18. Redeeming the time because the days are evil.
You must redeem your time because the days are evil. Come on.
Wherefore be ye not unwise.
And don't be unwise. He said it the good way. Don't be unwise means don't be stupid. He said it the nice way. Right. Don't be unwise. Don't be stupid. Come on.
Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Most High is.
You have to understand what the will of the Most High is. In order for you to gain back what you lost, how could you gain something or reconcile something you don't even know what you lost? You a king and you from royalty. You a priest and you don't know that you lost that. How could you get it back? You don't understand what you lost. But once you come into the understanding of what the will of the Most High is, then you understand. I know what I have to get back. I know what goal I have. Come on.
And be not drunk with wine.
And be what?
Be not drunk with wine.
Be not drunk with wine.
Wherein it is excess.
Don't overdo it. Don't overindulge. That's what the prophet is saying. Don't overindulge. You can't. It's all right to have you a drink, but don't get so blasted out your mind you don't know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Come on.
But be filled with the Spirit.
But much rather be filled with Yah's Spirit. You know what I'm saying? Don't get full of that ripple. Don't get filled with that ripple. Get filled shampipple. Don't get filled with the shampipple. Be filled with the Spirit. Much rather filled with the Spirit. So we have to have redemptive practices. And we have to adhere to them. Give me 1 Timothy 3 and 15. Because there's nothing new under the sun. And what was good for our forefathers, are definitely good for us. Give me 1 Timothy 3 and 15.
1 Timothy 3, verse 15 reads, But if I tarry long, that thou mayest know how thou oughtest to behave thyself in the house of thy power.
Read verse 15 and again, start from the top.
But if I tarry long.
But Paul said, if I don't come back so soon, come on.
That thou mayest know how thou oughtest to behave thyself in the house of Yah.
You ought to know how you should behave in the house of Yah. Come on.
Which is in the body of the living power.
Which is in the body of the living power. I mean, wherever you are the assembly. You are the church. Wherever you are it. Come on.
The pillar and ground of the truth.
You are the pillar and ground, or should be the pillar and ground of the truth. Now, that is not to mean that you do not have to come to Sabbath meetings or Sabbath class. Just because you the church, or you the pillar, or you the assembly, wherever you go, don't mean that you don't have to gather. That is a law. I said it earlier, a lot of us gonna miss out, a lot of folk gonna miss out on a technicality. On a technicality. You don't have to necessarily come here. This is not Brother Yaziku getting it, advocate for anybody to come here. What I am saying is, you need to be in a assembly. You need to be in assembly. I can't stress that enough. Let's get the law on that. So you won't just think it's me talking. Let's get the law, and then you have to make up an excuse when you get to judgment day. Leviticus 23. That's what. Yeah, you know where I'm going. Leviticus 23 is this
First 3 verses.
Yeah, I know. I just want verse 3.
Okay.
We're gonna cut it to the quick right then and there.
Leviticus 23, verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
6 days shall work be done.
6 days shall work be done. Read.
The 7th day is the Sabbath of rest.
But the 7th day is the Sabbath of rest. Now hold on a second before we go any further. You have a doctrine out there. I think it's the lunar Sabbath or where they go 8 days, 9 days, 10 days before the Sabbath come. I don't understand how they reconcile that with this. 6 days, not 8 days. 6 days you're gonna work, and on the 7th day is the Sabbath. People have Sabbaths on Tuesday, Wednesday. This is a stiff-necked people, man. The Israelites, some Israelites, man, some people say stuff to me, and I'm getting to the point sometimes. People say something to me, and I just do like this. Okay. And keep it moving. They out their mind, man. Well, let's finish verse 3. You got a precept?
Yeah.
Let's finish verse 3.
Leviticus 23 and 3. 6 days shall work be done. But the 7th day is the Sabbath of rest.
The 7th day is the Sabbath of rest. Read.
A holy convocation.
What is a convocation? Matter of fact, what is a holy convocation? A holy convocation, holy means set apart. Convocation means gathering. A set apart gathering. Read.
A holy convocation. Ye shall do no work therein. It is the Sabbath of the Most High in all your dwellings.
Wherever you live. All your dwellings mean wherever you live. These are redemptive practices. Wherever you live. You can't be redeemed. You don't know. You can't reconcile who you are. You don't know what the will of Yah is if you don't gather with your people. You sitting at home on YouTube,
Right.
scratching yourself.
With a bowl of cereal.
Yeah. You got Israelites that say they're believers. No fringes, no gathering, not keeping the feast days. But you say you're a believer. You don't look like one to me. Because if it looked like a duck, it quack like a duck, it swim like a duck, then it must be a duck. But some of y'all looking like sin. And if it look like sin, and if it act like sin, then you a damn sinner. I'm just going to tell you straight up today, you a sinner. You ain't in the truth. I said that last week. Didn't I say that? The Most High got me on this kick. You not in the truth. I'm just start telling people. With their head covered up, with long skirts, something, that you ain't in the truth. You just start telling them. To their face, you ain't in the truth.
1 John 2:4. He that says he knows the Most High, keep not his commandments, is a liar.
It's a lie. And the truth ain't in him. That's right. That's right. All right. Your job as an Israelite believer is to be the sacrifice that Yah's called you to be. That's right, sacrifice. Yes, you think I want to every week. It's a sacrifice for me every week. Do I enjoy teaching? Do I love reading? Of course I do. But it's a sacrifice for me to come up with these lessons. To study these lessons, y'all give me a topic, and he don't just give me word for word what to say. I got to study this. I got to find it in the scripture. I got to work for it. And yes, and I'm sure people in here every week don't be wanting to get out their bed on Saturday after working all week. But it is a sacrifice to do it. Give me Romans 12:1. People do what they want to do. Let them fool you. We don't want to do it. That's the bottom line.
Romans chapter 12, verse 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yah, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service.
That's just your reasonable service. Read that again, because that thing is powerful, man. Romans 12 is that deal.
I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yah, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice.
You got to present your body a living sacrifice. That means I don't want to do it, you do it anyway. Man, we like to froze our toes off Tabernacle, did we not? Man, we talking about Tabernacle, Michigan. You talking about Michigan weather Tabernacle.
Hey, man, it was loud, though.
It
was loud, man.
We was cut up by the fire, throwing logs on. Man, we like this, like, yeah, bring the scripture out. Woo! Man, you need some strong. Is some strong drink over there? Goodness, it's freezing cold. That was a sacrifice, but we did it. We loved it. Y'all honored it. Hey, that's what this thing about. I'm talking, you know what I'm saying? You get a reward. Hey, it's that reward, man. It's a sacrifice to do it, but we did it. All right. Now, historically, and I'm on this for a minute. I'm gonna get to. I know everybody ready for the market news. I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna get to it. Most High got me on something right here, though. Most High got me on something here. Historically, we need to show and prove that our people, our ancestors, that they kept the Shabbat by gathering together every Sabbath day. We can prove that with just a few scriptures, and that's what we're going to do. Give me Matthew 12:9. Matthew 12:9. You say Yahweh Shai is our prime example. He is the one we look to as he was perfect, was he not? In every way. The personification of perfection.
Matthew 12, verse 9. And when he was departed thence, he went into their synagogue.
Let's read the verse above it, because I want to make sure.
Matthew 12, verses 8 and 9. For the Son of Man is the Most High, even of the Sabbath day.
Who's the master? That's master for that word right there.
The master.
What's the verse 8 again? Read it again.
For the Son of Man.
The Son of Man, who is Yahweh Shai, our Mashiach, our Savior. Come on.
Is the master even of the Sabbath day.
He is the master even of the Sabbath day. Read on.
And when he was departed thence.
And when he left from saying that, come on.
He went into their synagogue.
He went right into the synagogue because it was the Sabbath day. That's where they gathered at. Now that word synagogue is a Greek word. And it means, according to the KJV dictionary definition, synagogue means a congregation or an assembly for purposes of worship or performance of religious rites. The house appropriated for worship, the court of the 70 elders amongst the Jews, called the Great Synagogue. All right, give me Mark 1:21. So we know we want to get that first definition: a congregation or assembly. is what the synagogue is. Give me Mark 1 and 21.
Mark 1, chapter 1, verses 21 reads, And they went into Capernaum, and straightway on the Sabbath day.
What day was it?
On the Sabbath day.
Come on.
He entered into the synagogue
Uh-huh.
and taught.
He entered into the congregation and taught. Give me Mark. We're going to do them fast. Mark 1 and 23.
And it reads, And there was in their synagogue a man with an unclean spirit. And he cried out.
The person with the unclean spirit was in the synagogue because that was the place where they gathered. And you sitting at home with all your unclean spirits, and the elders don't even know you got all them demons in you because you at home. You at home. Come out, gather somebody, say, oh, that's the demon on him. Or that's the devil on her. We know now. So now we can pray. Mark 3 and 1.
Mark 3, verse 1. And he entered again into the synagogue. And there was a man there which had a withered hand.
Because he entered into the synagogue, it was a Sabbath, and guess what? The man there with the withered hand, guess what he did? He healed them. But if the man was at home with a withered hand, guess what his hand would have been? Unhealed and withered. You got to come out. You got to come out. Give me Mark 6 and 2.
Mark chapter 6, verse 2 reads, And when the Sabbath day was come.
What day was it?
And when the Sabbath day was come.
Come on.
He began to teach in the synagogue.
Where did he teach at?
And he began to teach in the synagogue.
In the congregation, in the assembly. Read.
And many hearing him were astonished.
Come on.
Saying, From whence hath this man these things? And what wisdom is this which is given unto him?
Come on.
That even such mighty works are wrought by his hands.
He went, our Messiah went into the synagogue and taught on the Sabbath day. It is biblical. It is historical. It is what we did. Give me Luke 4 and 16. And you give me Acts 19 and 8. Or who was it on? I don't know, whoever it was. Luke 4 and 16.
Luke chapter 4, verse 16 reads, And he came to Nazareth, where he had been brought up. And as his custom was.
As what?
And as his custom was.
What was it?
He went into the synagogue on the Sabbath day and stood up for to read.
He didn't just stumble in the synagogue. He didn't just stumble in the congregation. It was his custom. He customarily did this. I mean, he did this every week of his life. He went into the synagogue. He went into the assembly. And when he was out of town, guess what he did? He found the assembly and went to it. Acts 19 and 8.
Acts 19.
Oh, was you about to say something? Acts 19 and 8.
Acts 19 and 8. And he went into the synagogue and spoke boldly for the space of 3 months, disputing and persuading the things concerning the kingdom of Yah.
That's where Paul went to go teach. This is Paul next. He went to he said, where's the synagogue? Where's the congregation at? He went there and he went there teaching boldly and disputing.
If I could say something, this is y'all culture right here, and if I can give a definition.
A definition of what?
Culture.
Culture.
And this is the second definition. The customs, arts, social institutions, and achievements of a particular nation, people, or other social group.
That's your custom to do that. That was our custom, our culture, our practice. That's what we did. YouTube wasn't invented then, or Facebook wasn't invented then. You know? But that's still no excuse. Get your behind out the house.
Better get somewhere.
That's right. All right. Give me Revelations 22 and 12.
Revelation. Oh, you got it.
Well,
Revelation chapter 22, verse 12 reads, and behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me, to give every man according to his work shall be.
Whatever your work is, that's what your reward will be. Yah has always operated on a sowing and reaping system. Whatever you put in, that's what you get out. So if you're not growing, guess what you got to do? You got to put in some work so you can grow. You ain't sit at home and go through 5 or 6 different assemblies. That's why you're confused. You confused as I don't know what. We used to have a sister that come by here every quarter, every 4 months. She come in, she got the same dumb question. The same simple dumb question every 4 months. I told her the last time she was here, I don't know if it was me or Keeper, one of us said, well, if you sit your behind still and come consistently for 4 months, you might learn the answer to the question.
she come asking the dumb question and bringing flyers
From other assemblies or
assemblies
something.
like garbage
Yeah.
flyers.
What I wanted to know was, get your behind out of here. Go ahead.
Right.
It's time for self-evaluation. It's most definitely at hand. Our Messiah didn't and don't do his own thing. But many Israelites think they're supposed to. Listen, the Messiah himself, when he's on earth and in heaven, right now, do not do what he want to do. He don't. Y'all do whatever he want to do, and he tells you how a shower to do. There's an order to it. There's an order to. Give me 1 Corinthians 11. Now, nobody walk up out of here. Did a lesson on this 1 Corinthians 11. People got mad and stormed out and everything.
11 and what?
11, it started verse 1. Started verse 1.
1 Corinthians 11 verse 1. Be ye followers of me, even as I also am of Yehoshua.
Come on.
Now I praise you, brethren, that you remember me in all things and keep the ordinances.
What is the ordinances?
Law.
The laws and the order. The laws and the orders. Come on.
Now I praise you, brethren, that ye remember me in all things and keep the ordinances as I delivered them to you.
Get the laws and these orders, how it's supposed to happen, the order of way things should be, as I gave them to you. I pray that you keep that same order. Read verse 3.
But I would have you know that the head of every man is Yehoshua.
The head of every man is our Messiah. The head of every man is our Messiah. The head of every man is our Messiah.
Go ahead. Drill it in.
The head of every man is our Messiah. I haven't found too many men that have a problem with this. It's only the second part of this verse that I always found women to contend with. Come on.
And the head of the woman is the man.
The head of the woman is the man. Now, it's not my fault that your chromosomes didn't come out to be male chromosomes. You a woman. Be grateful. Yah created you, gave you life, and he made you what you are, a woman. And the head of a woman is man. The head of every woman is the man. The head, not every, I'm sorry. The head of the woman is the man. Come on.
And the head of the Messiah is Yah.
And the head of the Messiah is Yah. Even the Messiah has a head. Everybody got somebody over them. That's called order. That's called order. With men, one thing we have to learn as men as well, we have to learn how to deal with one another. Because most men, we didn't have to deal with one another. We only used to deal with, since we was little boys, only dealt with one another in regards to brute strength. I put you in the headlock and smash your head in the ground, then you're going to know I'm over you. I mean, that's how we got down. That's how you know. You know what I'm saying? That's how you know. You know, I'm running things because I just bulldozed your head to this ground. That's how it goes. We've been learning that since we was little boys in preschool. You know what I'm saying? Pushing down, kicking in the side. That's how we learn to deal with one another. But we had men, we can't deal with one another like that. Please don't nobody jump up, put me in your headlock and try to bulldoze my head in the ground. Please don't do that. We don't deal with one another like that. We have to learn how to deal with one another, how to approach each other, how to talk to one another, how to be around each other, and how to be in order with one another. Just because y'all set the order in the house, in the assembly, doesn't mean that you less than me. Because you're not in a leadership position at this time. You are a leader, but you might not be in the leadership position at this time. So you have to learn how to follow the lead. Because one day, you very well may be in leadership position and you need the brothers coming up behind you to follow you. That's how it goes. Everybody got a job to do, and we have to do it. In order for this to run like a well-oiled machine, you have to learn. You have to learn. You don't just come out. That's the problem. That's why I keep saying that people need to come together in assemblies. You don't just learn Deuteronomy 28, and the next thing you know, you on YouTube with a channel. It's incredible to me. I sat with Israelite groups for years and didn't open my mouth. I didn't say nothing. It's not time. It's not my time to say nothing. Shut up and listen. And watch the elders before me. Watch the teachers before me. Some of them made mistakes. Some of them did very well. Some of them still doing very well. And some of them gone. Off into sin somewhere. Y'all used them and done with them. Yeah. You have to watch, pray, listen, follow. And then he'll build you up to what he wants you to be. Whatever position that is. A teacher, a shepherd, a leader, a pastor, a pop, whatever. Whatever it is. He'll build you up to that point. All right? All right. Give me Ezekiel 11-16. I'll be almost done with this. I'll be done with this. Y'all led me to talk about this because it's very necessary. 11-16. Ezekiel 11-16, and give me verses 16 and 17.
You got that wrong.
Oh, go ahead, brother. I'm marinating right now.
Okay. Ezekiel 11-16. Therefore say, thus saith the Most High Yah, although I have cast them far off among the heathen, and although I have scattered them among the countries,
which he did, come on.
Yet will I be to them
what?
As a little sanctuary.
You gonna be what?
A little sanctuary in the countries where they shall come.
Wherever we go, we're gonna be little sanctuaries. This is a little sanctuary right here. Right here where we at. We gathered together to sing. This is a little sanctuary. Gathered together. Come on.
Therefore say, thus saith the Most High Yah, I will even gather you from the people and assemble you out of the countries where you have been scattered, and I will give you the land of Israel.
So that's the way it's supposed to work. We gather where he has scattered us, little assemblies, all working together in unison with one another in other congregations. Other congregations are little sanctuaries as well. But we one part of the body, they another part of the body. We got one vision, they have another part of the vision. But how many people know that the toe can't operate without the foot? You look real silly with your big toe on your ankle. You need a foot. You look silly. Your big toe gonna be on your ankle or a finger on your elbow and no forearm.
Yeah, what's wrong?
Scratch different places.
What's wrong with you, man? For sure, man.
We are little sanctuaries in wherever we have been scattered. Now, let me get to it. This great whore called America. Y'all ready for that, huh?
Yeah. Come on,
Stop fussing and get to the breakdown.
That was needed right there.
This great whore called America, with its lack of morality, lewdness, which is sexual immorality, and greed, all nations have polluted themselves with America and its lies and made themselves drunk with its idolatry and its wickedness. Revelations 13. All of that, what I said earlier, coincide with this as well. We're going to go to it. We're going to get through it.
Where you going to start?
We're going to start. Let me grab it. Let me grab it. The pages in my book is starting to stick a little bit there. Revelations 13, start at verse 1.
All right. Revelation chapter 13, 1 on down. And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy.
All right, start right there. Now, I'm not going to go through a lot of this because we have other lessons where we've done this. Like I said, we did a 666, the man of sin. We also did a lesson called When Babylon Falls. That is also on YouTube. You can go back and get those lessons. So we're going to go through this very briefly. Verse 1 again.
And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea,
Come on.
having 7 heads and 10 horns,
7 heads, 10 horns. Come on.
and upon his horns 10 crowns,
10 crowns. Come on.
and upon his heads the name of blasphemy.
The name of blasphemy. Those heads are what? Great Britain, Russia, Germany, France, Rome, Italy, Spain, Greece. Those are the 7 heads. The 10 horns are the 10 common markets of NATO. The 10 common markets of NATO. Verse 2.
And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard.
Greece. Come on.
And his feet were as the feet of a bear.
Russia. Come on.
And his mouth as the mouth of a lion.
Great Britain.
And the dragon gave him his power.
And the dragon gave him his power. Come on.
And his seat.
And his seat, he gave him his power, his seat, come on.
And great authority.
And his great authority. The Hashatan tried to implement this once before with our Messiah. Give me real fast. Give me Matthew 4, verses 8 and 11. I'm giving you a little background before I get to this. Come on.
Matthew 4, verses 8 and 11, or through 11.
Through 11.
Matthew 4, verses 8 through 11. Again, the devil taketh him into an exceeding high mountain, and showeth him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them, and saith unto him, all these things will I give thee, if thou would fall down and worship me.
Now, the Hashatan, the spiritual demon Satan, is talking with the Messiah, Yahushua. He takes him up there, and he's tempting them. He said, I'll give you all of this if you all but fall down and worship me. He has no new tricks. This is the thing that he does. Come on.
Then said Yehoshua unto him,
What did he say?
Get thee hence, Satan.
Uh-huh.
For it is written, Thou shalt worship the Most High thy Yah, and him only shalt thou serve.
So his tricks didn't work on Yahweh Shai. Verse 11.
Then the devil left him, and behold, angels came and ministered unto him.
But it did work on the white man. This is how the white man got his power. He fell down and didn't get up. Let's go back to Revelations 13. I think we're on verse 3.
Yep.
Okay.
Verse 3 on down, and it reads, And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death.
And he saw one of the heads of that great red dragon, or that dragon, as it was wounded to death. Come on.
And his deadly wound was healed.
And his deadly wound was healed in 193 AD. Rome fell in 193 AD, and they came back during the Renaissance era. Come on.
And all the world wondered after the beast.
And all the world wondered after the beast.
And they worshipped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. And they worshipped the beast, saying, Who is like unto the beast?
Who was like unto the beast?
Who is able to make war with him?
And who was able to make war with this beast? Give me Genesis 27, 38, and 40. If I'm going too fast, like I said, go back and revert back to those lessons.
Genesis 27, 38 through 40. And Esau said unto his father,
What did Esau say to his father?
Hast thou but one blessing?
He cried like hell too. What did he say? Come on.
Hast thou but one blessing, my
You got
father?
one blessing, Father. Come on.
Bless me,
Bless me.
even me also,
Uh-huh.
O my father.
Come on.
And Esau lifted up his voice and wept.
He cried, bless me, please, bless me. Come on.
And Isaac his father answered and said unto him,
And what did Isaac bless him with?
Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above.
You're going to live everywhere. Come on.
And by the sword shalt thou live.
And what?
And by the sword shalt thou live.
You're going to be a man of war, Esau.
And shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass.
Is that it?
No.
Okay.
And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck.
That you shall break his yoke from off thy neck. Now let's go back to Revelations. We're on verse 4, but I want you to jump to 14. All right. Go Revelations 13, jump, and we're gonna go to verse 14.
Revelation chapter 13, verse 14 reads, And deceive them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth,
What did he say?
That they should make an image to the beast.
That they should make an image to the beast who had his power. What is the image? The image is the false Christ that the Catholic Church has put up, called Caesar Borgia. Come on.
Which had the wound by a sword.
The wound by the sword was Rome. The Romans failed in 193. They was wounded, but they came back not as a military power or military might. They came back as the Roman Catholic Church in Christianity, which is in every empire when they came back. Come on.
And did live. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast.
And he did give power to the life to the image of the beast. Come on.
That the image of the beast should both speak. And cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
Read that part again.
And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast.
He did give life to that image, Caesar Borgia, the white image of Christ, by the Roman Catholic Church. Read.
That the image of the beast should both speak, and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
Should be killed. It's more people that was killed by the Christian Crusaders than any other religion in the world. the Christian crusaders killed more people than any other religion in the world. That's right. That's right. So don't let these Christians fool you and tell you that they're not terrorists, because they still terrorists today.
That was Revelations.
Revelations 13 and 15.
15.
Yeah. So now between verses 14 and 18 of Revelations 13, there are hundreds of years of time that is passing according to this prophecy. So we have just talked about historically 14 and 15 in regards to the Roman Catholic Church and the Roman Empire and Caesar Borgia being known as the beast that was giving, that the Christian church had gave life to it. Okay? Mm-hmm. Now we want to go, we talked about what has already happened. That's verse 14 and 15. Now we want to go into future prophecies of what's going to happen, what's going on, and what are we living in the midst of right now. That is verses 16 through 18. All right, so we're going to start at 16.
And it reads, and he calls all, both small and great.
He calls all. We have to take this very slow and very carefully. He calls all. Come on.
Both small and great.
Both small countries and great countries. Come on.
Rich and poor.
He caused the rich countries and the poorest countries. Come on.
Free and bond.
He's called the free folk and the folks that are not free. Come on.
To receive a mark on their right hand.
To receive a mark in their right hand. Come on.
Or in their forehead.
Or in their foreheads. This is literal. This is a physical mark. And this is also a spiritual mark. The beast caused both small and great, bond and free, great, rich and poor, to receive a mark, a physical mark and a spiritual one. What do I mean by a spiritual one? The knowledge of one in their forehead. What's in your forehead? Your brain, right? Your brain. He calls you to have a mark in there as well. A physical mark and a spiritual one. Let's get what I'm saying. Give me Revelation 7. Give me Revelation 7 and start at the first verse.
Revelation 7, verse 1.
You'll see what I'm saying.
And I stood upon the sand, of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns.
What book are you at? Go to 7. Yeah, it messed up on you right there. You was reading 13.
Revelation 7 and what?
7 and 1.
Yeah, Revelation 7. Is that it? Yeah.
No, yeah, it didn't come up again. It stopped.
Seven and 1, right?
7, that's 13 now. Let me get 7 and 1.
Right.
Revelation chapter 7 verse 1 reads, and after these things I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree.
Keep going.
And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living power.
Read it again.
Having the seal of the living power.
Having the seal of the living power. Come on.
And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels, to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea,
watch this,
nor the trees,
come on,
till we have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads.
Read verse 4 again. Read verse 4 again.
saying, hurt not the earth,
Don't hurt the earth.
neither the sea,
Uh-huh.
nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of Yah in their foreheads.
Till we have sealed them in their foreheads, meaning the knowledge in their foreheads. From there, give me Isaiah 8:16 to prove what I'm saying. What is the seal? What is being sealed in your forehead? What is being sealed? Then we're going to go back and explain something in Revelation, the 13th chapter.
Isaiah 8:16. Bind up the testimony. Seal the law among my disciples.
Bind up the testimony, and seal the law. The testimony and the law is what's sealed in the foreheads of the disciples, or the what we just read in Revelation, the 7th chapter. All right. Let's go back to Revelations
13, you want
and 16.
16 again? Okay. Revelation chapter 13, verse 16 and 17 and 18. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand.
A physical mark in their right hand, come on.
Or in their forehead.
Or in their foreheads. Either physical or spiritual. A seal in their foreheads. A seal in their foreheads. Of the knowledge of the mark or the wickedness behind the mark. Are y'all still with me? The wickedness behind the mark. All right. Now, I looked this word up in a mark in the Greek is called kargma, and it is from the G5482 Greek commentary. Greek lexicon, and it means a scratch or a etching, a stamp, a badge of servitude, or sculptured, figured, statute, graven mark. Graven mark. This exact word is what it means. A graven mark, a sketching, a stamp, a badge of servitude. That's what it means. Verse 17, Revelation 13 and 17.
And it reads, and that no man might buy or sell.
That's how you know that it is something physical. That a man may not buy, or it's something that you have to have. You won't be able to buy and you won't be able to sell unless you have this badge of servitude, this etching, this scratch, this sculpture, this figure, this mark, this graven image, something. You have to have something, or you will not be able to buy and you will not be able to sell. Read.
Save he that had the mark, or the name or of the beast, or the number of his name.
Or the number of his name. Hold that right there. I want to go to the article right now. Kiefer has the article. And we got plenty more of scriptures to go through about this mark of the beast here. Oh, it hasn't came up yet? You can read it. You can read it from off here. This is that's it. Oh, you got it. Oh, you couldn't see it, could you? All right.
A chip in my hand unlocks my house. Why does that scare people? Implant technology.
I'm sorry. When was this article? When did this article come out?
This article came out
May
May the 21st, 2019.
So it came out last year. May the 21st, 2019. It's not even a year old. All right.
Implant technology can change the world unless politicians give in to the hysteria against it. Over the past few decades, microchip implant technology has moved from science fiction to reality. Today, hundreds of thousands of people around the world have chips or electronic transmitters
Did y'all just
inside
hear
them.
what that article just said? Hundreds
I've seen
of
it.
thousands of people around the world already have this chip imprinted
Yeah.
in them. Come on.
Today, hundreds of thousands of people around the world have chips or electronic transmitters inside them. Most are for medical reasons, like cochlear implants to help the deaf ear. More recently, body modification enthusiasts and technophiles have been installing microchips in their bodies that do everything from start a car
Start the car.
to send a text message
Send a text
to
message.
make an appointment to make a payment in Bitcoin.
You'll make a payment in Bitcoin.
The market for non-medical implant technology is virtually unregulated, despite the fact that thousands of people around the world got chipped in the past 12 months.
In the past 12 months.
That may be about to change. Over the past few years, calls to heavily regulate or even ban voluntary implants have grown increasingly loud. There's a place for regulating implants like any technology, but also a need to separate the fear from the reality. As technology advances, will it continue to blur the lines between public and private? To explore what's at stake and what you can do about it. I was excited to get my implants in 2015 at a biohacker gathering called Grindfest in Tallahassee, California, specifically in a garage in a dentist chair surrounded by vintage medical posters. These implants, often called radio frequency ID or near field communication tags, depending on the technology involved, are about the size of a grain of rice and are installed in people in seconds via an oversized syringe. They each have a unique identification number and cost as little as $50.
As little as $50.
Most people get them injected in the tissue between the thumb and the index finger.
On that right hand. On that right hand.
Microchipping is still a fun part of a semi-underground culture, but interest is growing in more serious quarters. In 2016, the Navy asked me to consult on a study led by James Wisecup, a retired vice admiral and the director of the Chief of Naval Operations Strategic Studies Group. One of the concerns they had was how civilian implants in sailors could affect the workings of nuclear submarines. More recently, implanting made national news when a Wisconsin technology company called 3 Square Market announced it was having a chipping party for its employees.
They're going to chip the employees.
Workers were offered implants that allowed them to be tracked at work,
Watch this.
replacing time cards.
Replacing time. You ain't got to, don't worry about it. We know you here.
Workers could also use the implants to operate copy machines and buy food from the company's vending machines.
You can buy food from the company vending machine. Come on.
Why you should take a close look. I'm going to skip that. Not surprisingly, such interest from the military and the corporate sector has raised concerns, and not just among civil libertarians. Religious advocates have cautioned against the ethical challenges of implants. In February, Skip Daly, a Democrat in the Nevada State Assembly, introduced a bill to make involuntary microchip implants illegal. He later amended it to include voluntary microchipping as well. The bill, even though it is in just one state and has yet to pass, set off a storm of concern in the biohacker community because it seemed to be the first step in a crackdown we all fear is coming. Currently, no state has a law banning voluntary microchip implants, though with Nevada, Arkansas, New Jersey, and Tennessee are drafting legislation centered around implants. California, Wisconsin, Missouri, Oklahoma, and North Dakota have laws in some form that ban involuntary implants.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of many biohackers or any citizens who wouldn't support a ban on involuntary microchipping, though at least for now, that's a baseless fear. But the fear of government or corporate imposed programs should not overwhelm the promise that voluntary recreational chipping has to offer. I've had my chip for over 3 years, and I've grown to relish and rely on the technology. The electric lock on the front door of my house has a chip scanner, and it's nice to go surfing and jogging without having to carry keys around. Wow. For some people without functioning arms, chips in their feet are the simplest way to open doors and operate some household items modified with chip readers.
They're going to chip you.
The military is considering implants for soldiers that may be useful to monitor their health data and even recovering them if they are captured or lost in war.
They want to chip the soldiers.
Wow. Microchip implants aren't for everyone, and while the health risks are minuscule, like any other technology, implanted chips will grow old, becoming outdated, and needing to be replaced. A process that will be moderately bloody and painful, and there are legitimate privacy issues similar to the current concern over tracking phones.
Mm-hmm.
So far, though, implants can be detected by someone only at a distance of a few feet. Above all, the microchip implants...
I don't believe that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Above all, the microchip implants illustrate a defining principle of the transhumanist movement popularized by the philosopher and futurist Max Moore. Morphological freedom, the right to modify one's body in whatever way one wants, so long as it does not hurt anybody else. The uproar over Mr. Daley's bill seems to have worked. After being deluged with public comments and emails, he altered his bill yet again with new wording to exempt implants for self-expression and medical purposes. The bill recently passed in the Nevada Assembly and is being considered by the Nevada Senate. With the implant technology becoming smaller and easier to put into bodies, every state will soon have to address the question of recreational implants.
Every state has to address this.
The knee-jerk opposition is real, and it could easily lead to overbearing laws. People should be able to do whatever they want with their bodies, and lawmakers, if they study the facts, will quickly realize that the benefits of a lightly regulated biohacking culture outweigh the risks.
All right. All right, let's get Revelations 13 and start at verse 16 again.
And it reads, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor.
Every state gonna have to at one day adhere to this, like the article said. Come on.
Free and bond to receive a mark in their right hand.
A physical mark in your right hand. Come on.
Or in their forehead.
Or the spiritual perception of wickedness in their heads. Either the physical mark or you with the wickedness, or you're with the wickedness, because it'll be sealed in your head. Come on.
And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark.
You won't be able to buy food. You won't be able to buy water. You won't be able to buy clothes. You won't be able to get gas. You won't be able to do anything unless you have the mark. Come on.
Or the name of the beast. Or the number of his name.
Read on.
Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding Count the number of the beast.
Count the number of the beast. Read.
For it is the number of a man.
A man, mankind, a people, a group of people. Come on.
And his number is 600. Three score and six.
666. Give me Acts 17:29. We're almost done. Acts 17:29.
Acts 17, verse 29. For as much then as we are the offspring of Yah, we ought not to think that the Godhead is like unto gold, or silver, or stone, graven by art and man's device.
And man's device. That man's device there, if you look that word up, device, is mark. Is mark. You look that word up in 29, device, man's device is the mark. Give me Revelations 14:9. Revelations 14:9.
Revelation chapter 14, verse 9 reads, And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, If any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead.
And receive his mark in his forehead, meaning you receive the wickedness of this beast. Come on.
Or in his hand.
Or you receive the physical mark in your hand. Come on.
The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yah.
You're going to be put to death. Give me 14:11.
And the smoke of their torment ascended up forever and ever. And they had no rest, day nor night, who worshiped the beast in his image.
Who worshiped the beast in his image.
And whosoever receiveth the mark of his name.
That's how you know that it's talking about in his forehead. It's talking about being sealed. You worshiped this beast and you received the mark. Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay. Give me Revelations 19:20.
Revelations 19, verse 20. And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast, and them that worship his image. These both were cast alive into a lake of fire burning with brimstone.
If you receive that mark, and you receive that mark, and you uphold that image, that for you. Give me the Revelations 20:4.
Revelation chapter 20, verse 4 reads, And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua, and for the word of Yah, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their forehead.
Read that last part again.
Neither worship the beast,
Neither worship the beast,
neither his image,
neither
have received his mark upon their forehead.
neither receive the mark upon their forehead. Is that it?
Or in their hand.
Or in their hand.
And they live and reign with Yahushua 1,000 years.
Hallelujah. Can't wait until that day. So, brothers and sisters, we see that mark of the beast is physical, and that mark of the beast is also spiritual. All right. With that being said, we hope that you have gleaned from this lesson, that you have learned something today. If you have any questions, comments, please, by all means, inbox us, email us. Look up our YouTube channel, Israelite Nation Assembly, INAS, YouTube.com. That being said, y'all bless.
Hallelujah.
Yes.